conversation. I'm so happy to have you here. I think you may be waiting for months for this conversation. So,
Yeah.
welcome to my show.
Hi, Ranjani. It's a pleasure meeting you. You've been an inspiration to many people, and I'm one among them. I'm very glad to speak to you today.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, for all the people who are watching this, maybe live or over a replay, Sravanti is executive director and an entrepreneur herself, has diverse experience of industries. So, before we run into the topic, which is a very interesting topic for women to create wealth without being financial experts. So, Shravanti, introduce yourself. Where are you joining from? What do you do? And why this topic today?
Yeah, right now I'm based in Guntur. I started my career with Goldman Sachs in the corporate treasury department, where my team was managing the asset liabilities in the institutional capital markets. And after my marriage, I moved to Guntur and I joined our family business and I'm actively involved in managing the manufacturing business of cotton yarn.
Okay.
Right. And parallelly, I'm also passionate about futures and options trading. I
Mm-hmm.
do it regularly, but my heart lies with financial literacy. That is why I'm here today. I would love women to be financially independent, but many people find financial literacy a little complicated. So I would like to let people know that finance is not very tough and everybody can deal with it. And you can build your own wealth without actually being a financial expert.
Wow, this is great. And more women taking on ambitious career options, entrepreneurship, business, whether it's new or family, they have the access to be financially free, or maybe I would say independent, and must have the knowledge to manage it by themselves, no, rather than relying on a male in the family. They can take the complete charge of it. So I'm looking forward to this conversation today. So my first question to you, Shravanti, is having experience of both the corporate world and being in a family of business, especially in manufacturing. How has that experience has evolved over the years, and what's your perspective on wealth?
Yeah. So when I was working with Goldman Sachs, we were dealing with data, numbers, everything on Bloomberg terminal. We were
Mhm.
dealing with market movements, market volatility, portfolio, investment decisions, and all that. So it was all numbers, numbers, numbers. So in my opinion, then wealth was just income, earning money. But when
Mm.
I transitioned to our family business, that was when the ground reality hit me. Previously, I was just a piece of puzzle in the bigger picture. Here,
Mm.
now I am the bigger picture.
Mm.
So that made a big difference. You know, the ground reality is far, far different from the corporate world. Here,
Mm.
we keep dealing with bales of cotton, heavy machinery, supply chains, and all the hundreds of factory workers, their issues, and all that. There are many moving elements in the picture.
Yes.
So then I realized income, generating revenue or income is not the only thing about wealth.
Mm.
No, it is about building assets. It's about building value from whatever we do. Be it a
Mm.
bale of cotton or investing any amount into capital machinery or anything else. When
Mm.
you generate value out of it, that is when wealth happens.
Beautiful.
So when I saw a businessman, he has around 25 to 30 years experience in the cotton industry. When I
Mm.
was asking him about investments in finance, I heard him say, I never heard about derivative products or any futures, options. He doesn't even know about the stock markets. But
Mm.
then I was thinking, if he knew nothing about this, is he even building wealth? But
Mm.
then I saw his portfolio. He built many assets. He had acres of land. He had many investments into real estate and all that. He built good relationships. He had a great reputation. Everything that is there is wealth.
Mm.
So then I realized income is far different from wealth, and that is what we should be focusing on.
Very good point. I think those who are watching this live or maybe on a replay would uh, would agree with it. Like everybody who, uh, there is a point in life where we look at sustainability.
Yeah.
How I can sustain this lifestyle.
True.
Even later when I don't have the job or I'm not running the business. So that's where the wealth creation, planning and execution comes very early. It is not when you are approaching retirement or
Yeah.
you want to start something new.
True.
So very good point. Moving on, I want to know, uh, why do so many women think they need to become finance expert before they can start investing?
That's a good question. So I think it lies in the basic mindset of women that we generally start something only when we are very confident about it, only
Mhm.
when we feel we learned everything about it. That is, I think, one of the mistakes women make before they start investing. And the second thing I think is since childhood, we were never taught financial education.
Yeah.
We were never taught how to open a bank account or how to deposit a check. Even such basic things, we never had it in our school. And then, even at financial decision making at home, they don't involve the women of the home.
Hmm.
But they don't realize something. In the household, majority of the daily financial decisions are taken by the women.
Yes.
So if the same thing they can get confidence and start involving in financial decision making, it would be a great step. And for this to happen, I think women should actually start getting aware of whatever financial instruments we have today. Previously, we used to have to go to a bank to open an FD or to deposit a check and all that. Now everything has come at the click of a button. The only thing that is not there is financial awareness and literacy. So I would tell when I take finance workshops to women, I tell them don't wait until you learn everything.
Mhm.
Learn the basics of investing and then you start with a small amount. Learn
Yeah.
on the go. And then
True.
improve yourself, correct your mistakes, and then increase your investment amount every month.
Hmm.
So just yesterday, I was reading in the newspaper that you can start with as small as 20 rupees. A
Hmm.
mutual fund SIP by Axis Mutual Fund, but you
Hmm.
can start with as low as 20. So you don't even have to wait for money to be accumulated and then to invest it.
Hmm.
Yeah. So,
Beautiful.
and the jargon, complicated jargon that is related to finance and economics, sometimes stops women from actually thinking about it.
Yeah.
So through my page, Sravanti Decodes, which I started recently, it's a non-profit page. And there I try to demystify the finance and economics concepts. I remove the jargon. I try to explain by linking it to the recent news items.
Hmm.
And that is my humble attempt to make women realize that financial literacy is important.
Yeah, that's so beautiful that you are not just helping yourself, you are helping others, especially women, and helping them with the technical side of it. Like you can learn this and get started with as small as 20 rupees that you share. So we'll share all that details in the description for people to browse through and catch up with the awareness that you are creating. I can clearly remember, this as a conditioning. Like, finance and women are two separate things. No,
Yeah,
there is a world that a world of men who doesn't rely on women, and there is a world of men who give their salary to the the women in their life, and like you take care of it. So there are two sides of it, and women are good at managing. It's
yeah,
not that they have to be experts of it. They're already doing it. There's so
yeah,
many things that they are managing, but they don't know that um, they can do this. So that's the first part. And the second part I wanted to highlight is like when we were young, no, it was all about get educated, get a job. It was all about making some money, earning for yourself. It was never about building assets, or it was never about wealth creation. Those conversations were never there. Yeah,
yes,
they only look at you make your own money. That's it. Stand on your feet. the popular saying. But wealth creation now is something that still there is a gap when it comes to men and women,
Yeah.
the awareness, the education. And thank you so much for creating this campaign to helping, women just get started, even with their phones, to get educated. So let's move on and look at the next question that I have. So, without feeling overwhelmed, women can begin investing. So, can you give us, a little glimpse of how you started your journey? Though you come from a background where you have learned it yourself. So, how was your journey, and how you can help women understand that they can get rid of the overwhelm, the anxiety around investing? Though even if it is 20 rupees, they may, run into a lot of doubt and, overwhelm. So, share
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah. I tell women, see, before you start feeding your children, you don't become a nutritionist. You
Hmm.
just know the basics of nutrition and then start feeding your children. You don't have to be a civil engineer to buy a house. The same way, you don't have to be a financial expert to start your investing journey. So what I tell them is start small, small with as small as as I told you now, just 20 rupees. But do it consistently. If you are
Hmm.
investing 20 today, invest 20 next month also, irrespective of how the market conditions are. And if you are starting, you have to start small, but you have to start it today. Time is money. The earlier you start, the earlier the compounding works. Compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. Yeah, as early as possible is the best time to invest.
Hmm.
So some people wait till the market falls, or some people wait till the market gets stabilized or consolidated. Don't wait for it. When you're investing regularly every month, that gets averaged out. One month you're investing when the market is down, the next month you're investing when the market is up. So it will get averaged out. The next thing I tell them to do is to automate it. Automation removes emotions from the investment journey. So if you're planning an SIP, automate that SIP and do a step up every year. Like include a 10% step up 1 year after you start the scheme. And then I tell them to learn in this process. Like for example, if you're starting with a mutual fund SIP, read up about it. Now the resources are vast. You have your AI, you have your internet resources, everything. You read up on the mutual fund, find out what are the components it has, what is the expense ratio and all. Some basics of investing should be learned upon before you start. Don't take anyone's tips, especially the Telegram tips and the WhatsApp tips that comes from unknown groups and sources.
Yeah.
Yeah, do your own research. Nowadays, most of them are graduates.
Yeah.
You would do a little bit of reading on it. And that is how I tell somebody who starts today. And if they are overwhelmed by whatever is available in the internet, I tell them to split their money into three different buckets. The
Okay.
first one is called the shield,
Hmm.
wherein that amount should go for your emergency fund. So what is an emergency fund is if you suddenly your income stops for any reason that is out of your control,
Hmm.
but still your lifestyle should continue the same way it is. Then you have to have at least 1 year of your income as a
Hmm.
buffer. That is called the emergency fund. That emergency fund should lie in your either your savings account or your FDs or something very liquid like in gold.
Okay.
And you should definitely have a health insurance cover and a life insurance cover. These three are non-negotiable for any person, be it a man or a woman. That is
Yes.
called the shield. And next comes your engine, wherein that should generate income, second income stream for you without your active involvement. So
Okay.
something like index funds or your ETFs or gold or dividend paying stocks. All these they're less risky. They give you good amount of returns every month. Your lifestyle would not change, and you don't have to actively track them every day.
Okay.
Yeah. So now when your shield and engine buckets are full, then you These two will be full only when you learn and you actively
Yeah.
invest your time in it and then set it right. And after
Mm.
that, you come to your third bucket called the playground. That
Wow.
playground should be just 5% of your money. That
Okay.
5%, if you are interested in futures and options, you can go for it. Or if you are interested in aggressive stocks like the recent EV stocks or the AI stocks, anything you want to experiment, something that is new, you should leave just the 5% of your income for it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Very, very good advice, and no, the three-step you shared, and that's a great way, like to start your investment journey. Thank you so much for sharing that. So moving on, my next question is about women entrepreneurs. When they build their businesses, and how they can generate wealth instead of creating another full-time job for themselves. So what you have to advise for women entrepreneurs?
So some women entrepreneurs they quit their job and come into business. They start their own business, uh, imagining that they would have better time available for them or
Mm.
their passion to convert it into a business and all
Yes.
that. But they end up doing a bigger job after coming into the business. Here it's only 9 to 5, but here it's your full time job. So, if I have to compare two boutique owners that I've seen recently,
Mhm.
both of them earn the same income every day. But the
Okay.
difference between them, the first person spends all her time in the boutique itself.
Mhm.
She's the one who handles the suppliers, the customers, the workers, everyone. She does the business very well. She has a very good reputation. And the other boutique owner, she delegates everything. She has a manager. All the menial decisions are taken by the manager, and only the important ones come to her.
Mhm.
Of course, she also built a good reputation. She also earns the same income. But if you see the sustainability of the business, the second one will go longer.
Yeah.
She'll be able to withstand all that stress for many years.
Hmm.
So, to anyone who's coming into a business, I would suggest them to automate or delegate, set systems in place. They should be able to take a vacation instead of dedicating their whole life to their business. And the second thing, when they generate the income, many
Hmm.
business owners plug in the income to their own business. That is
Yes.
a very good thing. It helps your business grow, but then you're putting all your eggs in the same basket.
Yeah.
You have to diversify some funds and put it in investments that are safe, that will generate you a secondary source of income as well.
Hmm.
So that could be as simple as buying a few gold ETFs or little gold jewelry, our favorite South Indian thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or if you have more money, you could buy land. Or if you have confidence in stocks or the upcoming markets are going to be good, you can invest in mutual funds. Or if you want a standard income every month or every quarter, you can invest in corporate bonds. There are many options available.
Hmm.
You just don't have to totally stick to your business. You could earn a passive income from your investments as well.
Wonderful. So that's a good advice for women who, uh, many of them choosing entrepreneurship is more or like a 24 bar 7 work rather than a 9 to 5 job. It turns it around that way. But you have given a clearly how you can change that lifestyle into creating something, not just time and money freedom for yourself, but wealth creation as well. So before we move on, Shrivanti, I want to know, like, when it comes to financial education or services helping women, what other than uh, the campaign that you shared, about literating women, what else you offer? Like, are there any services? Do you offer consulting? Can you share a little bit about it?
Yeah, I take up finance workshops for women.
Mm-hmm.
Many people think it's all about stock markets, but there are 100 different things apart from the stock markets available in yeah, available in India. There are many financially engineered products that are coming up every day. So I try to give awareness about all that, and I educate women so that they can teach their children, and those children should not be like us who don't know much after growing up.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And then I offered consultancy for futures and options as well, and I suggest investment advice as well.
Wow, beautiful. So, how, if somebody wants to connect with you, where are you the most active on social media and how they can reach you?
Yeah, I'm there on LinkedIn and I'm there on Instagram as well.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll share the links with you.
perfect, perfect. So, thank you so much. And I know I'm talking to the first person, especially a woman, talking about futures and options when it comes to investments. So, let's move on and go to the next question. So, how does financial independence transform a woman's confidence and leadership? What you have to share here?
So as I got involved in my family business, I started going to my regional business chambers meetings, and
Mm-hmm.
I started writing articles for and giving out my opinions for national textile magazines. And in all those places, I was the only woman there in a male-dominated world. Thank you.
Wonderful. Very happy to hear this.
Thank you. So
So,
there, when you try to fit in that world, you
mm,
automatically play defense. You generally become shy. You can't talk confidently when there are many people surrounding, who mostly are men. So then I felt financial independence is what that actually gave me my voice. It helped me voice out my opinions boldly. It helped me give my opinions with confidence. And
wonderful.
I thought that is the case only with me. But then when I spoke with another woman entrepreneur who runs a business worth crores, she deals with employees and all that. She deals with customers, the suppliers, everyone on her own. She was telling me that she can't handle her own financial decisions because she finds it very tough. She
Mm,
finds it very complicated. When I asked her, she said, "My husband takes care of it. My financial advisor takes care of it." Then I told her this is not the way you can easily take up. You are actually making financial decisions in your everyday life in the business as well. So you can take up, and then after a year when I spoke with her, she told me her voice actually got confident after that. She
yes.
became bold, she became more confident. So it
Yes.
creates a psychological safety net,
Mm,
and it helps you make choices of your own. It gives you that freedom. You can just say no to whatever that comes ethically wrong in your way, and you can accept the opportunities that come in your way.
yeah.
All that happens only when you're financially literate and financially independent.
Yeah. So I've seen like women who are independent. Independent when it like independence comes when you have a job or you have a money of your own. You can create. You can earn. But management, asset building, and when it comes to the control of the finances, like many of them outsources. Like it came to me, as a surprise. Like when I heard like uh, highly ambitious working women with high paying jobs are giving these decisions to someone else to and somewhere it is your husband or maybe father like that, but not their own. I remember somebody asking me like you control your account. That was the question that shocked me. Like definitely it's my account and have the control. So having that power over making decisions, making those choices bold, uh, you rightly said it's a psychological thing. Women feel confident and the bold leadership is showcased there. So yeah, thank you for pointing that out. Finally, imagine speaking to your younger 25-year-old self. What would you tell her about money, wealth, and creating a life of freedom?
Uh, Maybe I'll tell her to slow down. I was always running behind milestones.
Hmm.
looking for what am I going to take up next? How do I do it successfully? It was like a rat race. Maybe I would
Mhm.
ask her to slow down, take a chill pill.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
I would tell my younger self to, no, don't be so hard on yourself. No, uh, I have realized over the years that I've been the biggest bully, bullying myself, with goals and milestones and targets. But yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
But on the investing front, I would ask her to start small, start at 25 itself, start
Hmm.
consistently, whatever I choose. And I would tell her not to be fearful of the decisions she makes. It's okay to make mistakes. You don't have to be perfect in everything. You should learn on the go. You should learn by doing. And I would tell her maybe your achievements are not just your salary or your degrees or your investments. It is time. Invest in yourself. Learn every day. Consistency is what actually adds value that
Mhm.
brilliance alone cannot.
Beautiful, very beautiful statement. And even wealth creation requires discipline. When
Yes.
you say consistent, like you're staying invested in
Yes.
whatever you have chosen and not trying to freak out when the market is down, and not having that clear vision that what you're creating and being invested. And to have that commitment, you have to keep learning. Like you have to have invest that 1 hour, or maybe 2 hours in a week. Find that time to learn, update yourself, and that discipline has to come. Maybe somewhere when we outsource these decision to someone else, we don't have to take the load of putting our time in learning something, and these technical terms will scare you away. But if you want, like when we were kids, our parents would put us to doing homework every day and doing certain amount of study every day. That discipline was so hard for us, but that gave us a great job, a great degree, a career, and a life that we have. So
Yeah.
that was the discipline that we had, and the same discipline needs to be brought in finance also.
True.
Learning at the same time, staying invested in whatever you have chosen.
Yeah.
No, the wealth creation method may look different, but being committed to that is the plan.
Yeah. That is what will actually shield you from your business ups and downs.
Absolutely. So, starting early, as soon as you start earning, and be committed to your own, wealth creation and asset creation and your freedom. Eventually, as you said about the time. So, any closing message for the people who are watching this? Anything you have to say before we say goodbye?
Yeah. When you start earning, don't spend first. First save first and then spend the rest.
Beautiful. It's
Yeah.
a hard decision to make, but yes, that's where it begins. No, the harder thing,
By
the bigger thing.
1% saved consistently will create wonders.
Yes,
Yeah, increase it by 1% every month. Well, that is enough to build a wealth when you are about to retire. You don't have to depend on someone then.
yes, beautiful. Thank you so much, Shravanti, for being here and sharing this beautiful journey of yours. And
My
very
pleasure.
happy to meet someone who is so committed for their own growth and wealth creation, and very consciously created, and sharing that with the world. I'm so happy to host you today. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much. Pleasure is mine. It was great interacting with you.
Yeah. So I'll see you soon, maybe some other time, some other conversation. Until then, good night.
Definitely.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
Thank you.